Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I'm going to head over to the fiberglassing table and get the center gauge pod ready for molding. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and the post notification bell to stay up to date with these little projects and that big project. That being said, let's get into it. Alright guys, don't mind that, whatever that is. We're going to be working on this today. So you get it all nice and smooth, get it all trimmed up. We're going to test fit it, then we'll prep it ready for a mold. So I'm going to make a mold with vacuum bag so it's perfect, and we can do multiple pieces out of it. So let's get stuck into it. Later today, it is Easter today, so we're going to be heading over to the family. So once we come back later today, we'll get stuck into this. Alright, back. It's about 8 o'clock. Actually had daylight savings today, so we lost an hour. Anyway, it'd normally be like 9 o'clock. So let's get into it. Gonna get into the car. Actually put the center section back in so we can get this molded properly. Alright, it's back in. So make sure we get these edges right. We've pretty much got the right shape there. We just need to trim it up a bit. So we'll get the file out. We'll get some gloves on and we'll get at it. Alright guys, pretty much got it all trimmed up along the edges. I think I might have to have a little bit more on the back just to have it sitting about there. So now we'll get to the sandpaper and clean up all the surface area because it needs to be pushed back just a little bit. So yeah, need a bit more on that back edge. I'll measure that, and I'll measure that and see how much I need to put on. Alright guys, just measured that lip in there, and we only need about another millimetre on top of that to make it better. So we can do that while we're moulding it. I'll get the sandpaper out. My lovely drawers on my sandpaper. And we'll start sanding this down. Using some 400. Alright guys, slowly getting there. It's really hard to see in the white. So once I think I've done an okay job, I'm going to spray it with some black, just like I did before. We can go over and find the low spots and fill in anything that I need to. I'll probably use some stop putty, and then we'll paint it again. And just try to get it nice and smooth. Then once we're there, we'll polish it up. just like I did before, went all high gloss. And that will be the point where we start putting flanges onto it to get it ready for a mold. Alright guys, I believe I've got it to the best I can before I need to do some filling. So I'm actually going to spray it first and then let that dry off, and then hit the bits that are quite visible with some stop putty. Right, got some got some edge primer on there. I can start playing around with it in about half an hour. It's about 10 o'clock now. So come out at 10:30 and fill in some spots and sand it back. Right, it's been nearly an hour. I'm still wet just down in there. Also hit it just a little bit too heavy, but I'm not going to get that edge anyway, so got some of this spot putty. So let's get to work. And that's a fail. It's hard. Great. Okay guys, so I'm going to go for body filler. So we'll mix that up and use it very, very lightly. Alright, we're all patched up there. Starting to get hard to work with, so shouldn't be too long before it's sandable. I believe it says 30 minutes on here somewhere. Alright guys, I'm actually gonna leave it for tonight and come back tomorrow and sand it and do everything, because I don't want to rush this. I want to stuff this one up as well. So, yeah. Unfortunately, no video from Monday, and that's why. Alright guys, it's the next day. It's about 11 AM. So nice and dry. So let's sand that flat. Alright guys, I've just done this bit. But before I get too dirty, I'm going to head down to Bunnings to get some supplies. Alright guys, I'm back. Picked up some of this like signboard. Don't remember what it's called. There we go. Cloth flute. So we're using this for the flanges on here. So angle them down a bit. So we have a good flange around the edge. Use it to pop out. Got a hot glue gun. My one broke not that long ago that I had for 20 years maybe. And just some scrapers. Oh, and some 360 grit paper. Alright guys, I've sanded it down the most I can. Can't really get into these edges, but I'll make them flat on the actual mould. It's not too bad. So I'll wipe it down, give another paint and primer, and see how we're looking. Alright, back at it. I just put it in the cup before, and I felt along that edge, and it felt like it came out a bit here. So we're going to look at sending that down a little bit. You can see we've got some little pinholes. That's okay. The wax should fill that up. And here, low spot, and along here a little bit of a low spot. That should come out of the mould quite fine. And I'll just send it off the mould. But yeah, we'll sand this area down a bit. This was where I filled it in before. So it is a high spot, and yeah, sand it down, do another layer so we've got an even coat. We'll make this look good again, and keep painting it. Then we'll sand it back nice and smooth, polish it up, and after we've polished it up, we'll do the flanges. Alright guys, just working on this front edge here. Been in and out of the car with it, trying to get the right angles just at the ends here and make sure it all lines up. So it's pretty good. but I flattened off this side just a bit too much. So I'm going to put some filler in just over that crack really, and build it up just a little bit to get the right little rounded part that matches just here. So while I'm doing this, I might as well fill in some little pinhole holes that I've found. Let's see if I can fill in those edges. I mixed too much hardener with it, so I couldn't do most of that there. But I did get a couple of little holes in the back there, so we'll come back shortly and sand that back. Alright, filled it up, sand it down. So now we go with another coat. Alright, back soon when it dries. Alright guys, so I'm getting pretty close to actually getting this ready to mould. Now I've got everything coming probably in the next week or so, you probably won't see an episode until then. So we might just leave this episode here guys. Just need to clean it up just a little bit. Probably add another millimetre onto the back there so it's nice and level. Plus I also need to get the 3 gauges out so I can fit it. But if you like this episode guys, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and the post notification bell to stay up to date with my builds and my shenanigans. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next episode. Bye.